this is the season 3 finale of Euphoria, and I want a good thought. Go over some theories. I want to know y'all theories. So go in the comments, tell me what y'all think gonna happen, because we have a lot that's going out there, and I want to go over something that I think is viable. First off, Rue is gonna go away. She's gonna, and her, Nate, and somebody else gonna end their run on this show, and the show's gonna have its own. And I feel like Zendaya right now might be a little too busy for Euphoria, with Doom being successful and her being part of the Spider-Man universe and probably other films that's coming out recently, as we've seen. I think her run might be done. Let me know your thoughts. The whole algae scene, it led up to it. It's gonna be her because everybody algae loves ends up going away. And the season focused a lot on Rue, which people thought was slow. And some of the things y'all didn't like, or we didn't like in general, was because it focused a lot on Rue. So it might be an ending of Rue. I don't think it's the end of Maddie, because I think Maddie's too important. I don't think it's the end of Sydney Sweeney. I think she's too important. But it could be. I could see Sydney Sweeney going, because Sydney Sweeney has a lot she wants to probably do in her career based on the thing. It's like I said, some of the things seem like this show was preparing her for in a lot of ways. I can see her leaving, but I don't think she would. I think it's going to probably go to become her show, or it's her and Maddie, because it's more synchronized in that way. Even because, like we said, we didn't see Jules a lot this season. Jules was not around a lot. Nate's gone now. We know Nate's finished. We have, I think, Alamo, Maddie, Cassie. That little dynamic might be the firm that we probably introduced some characters I think might be important next year. Or next season, I should say, because we don't know this show out for 4 years. We don't know if there's going to be an important person going to be there. So I can actually see that happening on this show. I can see them moving on from Rue and focusing on that single element of Alamo, Cassie, Maddie, and Lexi telling Rue's story, and then they feeling this type of way about Lexi. Because the show's going to come out probably the next season. And the show that Lexi is writing is going to come out, and she's listening to all these stories as she write. Like, keep praying while I keep writing. Because, like I said, the one person in this show that I think people are saying not acting right is literally Lexi. She's doing what she always does. She told Cassie's story and their childhood story at the play. She's going to do it again. Because, again, she likes to feel like she's better than them, but she's just like them. Another way. Who else going to go? You think Algie can go? You think Laurie would go? I don't know if Laurie and them make it out. I think they go to jail. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Laurie and them go to jail. Faye? I don't know what's happening to Faye. I don't know if Faye makes it. Faye and Rue are the two people I don't think make it out. And I think the racist boyfriend gonna end Faye, because I think it has to happen, right? I do think maybe Rue's sister become more important in the show, as she joins them or some way. I think that what's the girl they had added? I think she'll become part of the show. They're trying to make her a little important. But I wonder how they're going to do it. What do you think? How do y'all think they're going to do it, though? How will they get rid of Rue and make it seem right? Is she going to be sent off by Alamo? Is there a foreshadowing of her series? Just like, because they said, you want to be stuffed up like Alamo do his girls? We can do that for you. Send you off to a rich man. And maybe that's the way Rue can leave and come back if she needed. Could that be it? She technically wouldn't be gone in that way. She'd be sold off. Alamo don't play, so I can see him actually doing it. Could Alamo be gone, though? Because I can see a dynamic between Alamo, Cassie, and Maddie involve a whole season. Because I think any Alamo now would probably make this too nice in a way and not messy enough. Because you already got rid of the scene. So now what you going to do? You going to get rid of Alamo too? Because you get rid of them, all the villains go. Who's another villain the show had? Nate. Nate's been a villain on the show too. He's gone. There's no villains anymore. Besides possibly Lexi, that's a light villainhood. I think Alamo would have to stay, right? It'd be too neat. And his story with Maddie and Cassie got a lot more strings to it. So I don't think that would be it, right? Like I said, the whole season been leading up to Rue finding God and all of that. So I think that's going to be like a focus. I think that's going to be a huge focus on this episode. The Rue finding God, wishing she had something less, wishing her life wasn't so messed up. It's a lot of focus on her in the desert at the beginning of the show. Desert led to the snake, which ended up ending him. Algie's story about everybody he loves ending him. It's like constant themes of Rue being gone. So I'm stuck on that one. But who else would go? Algie? I think they're gonna try to go out with a bang to lead you into the next season, because I don't think it's gonna take 4 or 5 years for the next season. So who else would go? What y'all thoughts? Let me know in the comment section. Who do you think will go? What will happen? I think he's gonna try to make Maddie become one of his girls. You know what I'm saying? And maybe not in that way, but like a top girl. I don't want to say the word on YouTube. I know what I mean. I think he's gonna try to make Maddie her, but gonna let Maddie know I still own you, which is gonna lead to the whole next season of Maddie running the tables back on him. I think you got a lot of wiggle room with that. I don't think the wiggle room with everything else. I don't think Lori has a lot of wiggle room. I think she has to go to jail. I don't think Ruth's story has a lot of wiggle room. But what's she gonna do? Go back to Alamo? Maddie already snitched on her. Was she gonna go back to Lori? They want to go. Faye just yelled at her that she's stealing. And they already saying they want to go. Why does she fit into the story? Going forward for another season. Unless the series over and they just shock us in the last episode, say the series over. That would be a shocker. They just be like, yo, series over. We don't care no more. What happened to Jules, though? Jules still have a little room on her story. We got what happens to the doctor. But I think you could actually end Jules' story kind of neatly. But you can also have a regret story, because the last thing she did was throw the paint on herself and get out of my house. So if Rue ended up missing or gone, you know what I'm saying? You got a little bit of a story there. You got a little bit to keep up. So I can see that too. I can see that too with them. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Again, this is my third time asking y'all that, because I really want to know throughout this video. I throw out more ideas. I want more of y'all, because I want this to be a more interactive video for y'all, rather than just me going over the show and what I liked and how excited it was about it. I want this to be more interactive. So as y'all comment, y'all can put, I see y'all put the timestamp on it. We can talk about it. What other character? Because a lot of characters didn't show up in this season. Do we see Charles again with Jules? Got a little bit of that too. Jules can meet Nate's dad again. They can have that relationship going on as they grieve. Rue being gone and his son being gone. What they could have done better. And that he was an alcoholic, the grief from him being an alcoholic, leaving the business to his son that ultimately failed, that led him to astray. By the way, I did see some of y'all comments. It was hilarious, by the way, because y'all did say Nate would have did to Nassim some horrendous things if he was his self. And I want to talk to y'all about that before we get off the show. I know we at the time of the show and this show is not about that, but I do want to talk about that. How do you think the characters changed on this show? Because Nate is not Nate. Nate from this show is not Nate from the previous season. Nate from the previous season, like I told y'all earlier, I saw y'all say it, Nate would have called those people on the scene, even though he's not who those people typically go after. Nate would have did that. He would have never bent down to Bill about whatever his name is. He would never cry. He might have got beat up. And he might have cried after he got beat up, but he wouldn't have went out just that easy. He went out way easier for the Nate we know. And like I said in my other video, I don't feel bad for Nate. Nate has been a horrible person throughout this whole show. He's an awful person in this show. Not even barely human, matter of fact. But in a lot of ways, he changed too much that it made it weird. The outfits was a little weird. I saw some people talk about that. So this is like our end of the year assessment. I'll probably make a video totaling on all the things I see. Right now, I'm just thinking with y'all. So we probably will have one more video after the finale to go over how we felt about it. Or right before. Like that morning, right before the show. See how we felt about it. Let me know. People did change. How do y'all like the outfits? It felt like 2024, but it felt like it was in the 1960s, specifically Maddie. That was interesting wardrobe choices for most of these people. How did you like the new director? Did you like how the season went and all that? Let me know in the comments again one last time. I appreciate y'all. This is Zelmae. I will be in the comments with y'all talking about Euphoria season finale, episode 8, what we think gonna happen. How do we feel about this season? Everything about it. All that. I appreciate y'all. Peace. But it's long.